Hola, hola mi gente, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back. I was a little under the weather for the past week and I'm not fully there yet, but I missed making content and I'm so excited to share more this year. To launch off this video, we will be drinking some hot chocolate. I really wanted some Mexican hot chocolate, so I actually made this at home and it's so freaking delicious and cozy. You can see through my windows. It is super gloomy. It's been very difficult to film on good days because the lighting is just so bad, but you know, that's life in the Pacific Northwest, I guess. I'm so excited to recommend some goals for you. Yes, you who's watching this video. I have never had reading goals before, but this year I'm actually giving myself more of like fun challenges and yes, specific goals to hit that I also think you would enjoy. So it's not just a goal for myself. I think it's a goal that you will actually really enjoy. And some of you have been messaging me that you want to get into reading more, that maybe you got a Kindle for Christmas or you just want less screen time. And I'm also going to make a separate video on how to get into reading, but these are also goals you can take for yourself to make it more fun or interesting. So feel free to pick one or pick all of them, but let's get into it. So I wrote down a total of 5 goals and I'll break them each down. Feel free to skim through whatever sounds interesting to you, but I'm really excited about all of these. Like I said, I've never made a reading goal before. It seemed kind of silly, but there's some really good goals out there. I've really enjoyed hearing other booktubers or bookstagrammers talk about their goals. Some have really high count goals. Some of them have to do more with like finances around reading. Mine have to do a lot with exploring new genres, since that's what I really want this channel to be about. I want to push myself to read different genres, books, and authors, and recommend books through diverse lists because I just love being all over the place and a chaotic mess, right? Number 1 is actually setting a reading goal. If you don't know, there's this app called Goodreads for us book nerds where we can actually track what we've read in the past, what are we reading right now. You can leave a review. It has specific dates of like, hey, in December, this is how many books you read. And you can actually follow other people. I'm on there as well, so you can see what they're reading, their ratings. If, for example, there is someone's opinion you really value or a booktuber that you really enjoy and you want to keep up with their reads, or maybe you want to look up a book they haven't talked about and you want to see their opinion on it, you can actually go and see that on Goodreads. One of the most popular feature they have is actually a year goal. You can set a goal of how many books you want to read that year. The first time I actually did a reading goal was last year. Like I said, I didn't get back into reading until spring because my job was just so heavy. I finally decided to make a goal last year and set my goal to 10. I did hit, I think, like 47 or something. So this year I decided to set another goal and I just set it at 50. There's a ton of bookstagrammers and booktubers who set a goal of 100 books or higher for the year. That's great, that works for them. For me, I would feel pressured to hit that, and I think it would be less about reading the book and more about hitting my count. But if you are someone who wants to start reading, or you just think it would be cool if you could hit that goal, like 5 books, 10 books, 8 books, whatever your lifestyle manages, it's really fun actually to track. I really like seeing the little chart. It also lets you know if you're behind schedule or if you're ahead of schedule. It gives you a little prize and wrap up at the end of the year. And like I said, when you go off and make this goal, really think about your lifestyle, why you want to hit that number, what type of books you really want. Maybe you're like, I really want quality books. I want to read 1 book a month, or I want to read one book that I choose and 1 book from my favorite booktuber and like try that a month. You know, just really think about that. It is really cute and a really nice way to track, and just having Goodreads in general and tracking everything. I still have to upload every single book I've read in my life because I just launched my profile last year, so I don't remember every single freaking book, but it's a great app also for you to also track and get a sense of your taste if you don't really know what genre you absolutely love. So that's my first goal, is 50 books, because I want to be more present, have quality books. But of course, having a bookstagram and especially a booktube where I want to bring you even more content means I'll probably read more than 50. I just don't want to feel that rush, but I definitely want to hit that goal. Sip break. My second goal, and one that I think would be really fun for you all as well, is actually the 12 rec challenge. The 12 rec challenge is where you ask 12 different friends for 12 different recommendations and you read them within these 12 months. So that means you're reading one recommended book a month, which isn't super demanding. I asked over on my Bookstagram for recommendations, so my list is set and I'll give you a little preview here of what they look like. I already started 2 of my books this month and they vary in genres, which I absolutely love, okay? I have sci-fi, I have huge chubby books. I have more of like a shorter fiction story on here. I have more urban fantasy and a couple romance, which I don't really read. I definitely recommend you go off and ask 12 friends, or if not a lot of people around you read, like my case, you can go off and watch 12 different booktubers and 12 different bookstagrammers and see what they recommend and add it to your list and just try it. What's super fun about this as well is like, one, maybe some of these will feature in my unexpected read series. The other thing I'm really excited about is actually ranking them at the end of the year. I definitely put a disclaimer up that people don't get hurt if I don't like their recommendation or anything like that, because I just want to be as honest as possible on here. And at the same time, maybe that book just didn't work for me, but you know, it worked for somebody else because they recommended it. Sipping on hot chocolate. People asked me for a recommendation too, and so if you're looking to add a book from me, one of the top recommendations I gave was The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender. This is so under the radar. I feel really beautiful book. Definitely check trigger warnings if this is something you want to add to your 12 rec challenge if you decide to do this with me. I've been really happy to hear that people have actually really enjoyed it and it's been a 5-star read for them. I also don't get my feelings hurt if this is something that you personally did not like. It just means that it fine-tunes your taste more and it helps other people like learn what to recommend you. So again, I just think this challenge is super fun because it'll narrow down your taste. You'll be exposed to different genres. You'll try things you've never tried before, and it'll probably expose you to a really great book within the genre they were suggesting. You might find your next unexpected read in this challenge as well. Number 3. So this is a top goal overall and something I want to bring to you on this channel, which is just read more genres. Specifically, I want to read more adult fiction, more sci-fi, more memoirs. I'm gonna try romance, and I actually want to try true crime. I actually set some fun challenges for myself for throughout the year that I'm gonna bring on this channel for you as well, such as True Crime Week, where I only read true crime because I've loved watching it. I've never read it. People were really surprised when I said I've never read a true crime book, and I feel like I'm emotionally and mentally ready to start reading heavier books that have to do with true crime. So those are some genres I specifically want to try because I also want to make sure I recommend a variety to you all, so it's also a goal for this channel. I've just had so much fun trying new books, and I actually recently found out how much I enjoy adult fantasy with reading Babel and also reading The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, which I 100% recommend. I know it was in my most anticipated releases, but I did get a physical ARC and read it right before the end of the year. It was so haunting, gothic, eerie, and I realized I loved it so much that I actually wanted to try the book it was compared to, which is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. More genres for the win. Yay. Because I want to read more genres, if there is a genre you specifically want me to try, leave it in the comments below. I am really challenging myself. And of course, you will all see videos where I recommend different books from different genres. Try them out, see if you like my recs. But I have loved getting photos from you all of books that you have read because of my videos. I've seen a few of you pick up Jeanette McCurdy's memoir. A lot of you actually picked up the Sunbearer Trials, which made me really happy. And so many of you also picked up Danny Trejo's book and said you absolutely loved hearing his story. So all of those things make me happy. Feel free to connect with me on Bookstagram and DM me any recommendations you liked, or if you want to have a discussion about something, or maybe you disagreed with the way I talked about something, feel free to DM me. All of my socials are linked in the description below. Feel free to leave a genre suggestion or suggest a book from any of the genres I just mentioned that I really want to focus on. I will most definitely pick it up and try it out. Again, as a little disclaimer, I will give my honest opinion about it. So if this is a sensitive topic for you, or you don't like when someone doesn't like a book, please don't recommend, okay? I want to be honest on this channel and make sure all my viewers know what I honestly think about a book. So yeah. Number 4, this is for all my romance peeps out there. I'm just going to potentially be destroyed because the romance community is very intense. I love you all, but damn, y'all go hard for your ships, okay? This is actually a really fun challenge you can all try with me in February. I have completely booked out February to be filled with nothing but romance books, and I'm a little scared. I've never been super into romance, but I've also never tried a 100% romance book because I love having some romance in fantasies or sci-fi or whatever we're reading. It's not a need, but it's enjoyable for me. So an example is like This Vicious Grace. They have this war they have to set up, but Dante and Alessa have this beautiful romance, but the romance is not the main focus, and that's what makes the genre romance super different. Romance is literally just about the romance. It's not really focused on this dystopian war or like politics or all this other crazy stuff. It really is focused on the two people involved that are starting to grow in love. I've also seen different types of romance. There's like rom-com, dark romance, smutty romance as well, or like Wattpad fueled romance. There's just a ton of romance I've seen out there. If I'm speaking incorrectly about the romance genre, forgive me. I am being introduced to romance, and that's the whole point of this challenge. For February, since it's love month, I am hoping to try nothing but romance and then rank them and see what I actually think about the romance genre, because like I said, I've never fully dedicated myself to romance novels, so I don't really know what I think about it. I did ask for romance recommendations and I got flooded with some of the top romance accounts I do follow. I have everything. I said any type of romance goes as long as you really enjoyed it and it's romance. So those were really my only 2 asks. I added all of these recommendations to a shelf over on my Goodreads if you want to take a glance at it and maybe join me on the month-long challenge as well. And again, I will post a video in February ranking all of these. I have a lot to get through and a lot of thoughts to share. It's not like I'm scared or anything to talk about the most intense fandom out there. Not at all. We want to keep this channel honest and real. Despite all the fear, we're gonna do it. Feel free to join me on the romance challenge. I will also be doing a couple blind date with a book to again expose me to more genres and also take a part in that whole romance month-long challenge. Number 5, and this goal is also gonna be great for all new readers on this channel, and that is to use my Libby app more and buy less physical copies. Let me start off by explaining what Libby is and how it works really quick for those who don't know, because I've played around with this app a lot more the last few months and I discovered just so much about it, and there's still even more that I don't even know. Libby is a free app that connects to your local library, and you can actually check books out and audiobooks through your Libby instead of going to the library and physically checking books out. Here's the cool thing too, you can actually get ebooks through Libby. So you don't just place a hold here and then you have to physically go pick up the books. You can actually get your book instantly through the Libby app when it's ready, and when you're done you hit return and it immediately goes to the next person in line. It's super convenient, and if you need an extension on a book or if you need it delivered at a later date, you can also do that through the app and adjust the dates that you want it delivered or how long you want that extension if no one else is in line. It also allows you to do so many holds. For my local library, they let me place about 30 to 50 holds and check out at least 4 books at a time on Libby. So personally, I like to juggle all my reading, so I like having that flexibility of having multiple books at once, and also placing holds because some books are in higher demand and take a lot longer. Libby also lets you know like how long of a wait it might be. It'll say like, hey, it's ready now, it's ready in 2 weeks, it's ready in about 4 weeks, and it'll show you how many copies are available and how many people are waiting. I also really love supporting our local libraries through Libby, because when they see a lot of people are checking out a certain book, they give more funding into the library so they can actually get additional copies. So it's a great way to support your local library and local booksellers without having to spend money, because not all of us have disposable income to just go to a local bookstore or do all of that, but we still want to support our community. So definitely download Libby. You just go get your library card at your library. A lot of libraries during the pandemic actually set up a system where you can get your library card online, so feel free to do it online and just check the rules on there, and you can start checking out on Libby. And no, you don't need a Kindle or anything like that. You can download Kindle on your phone and just immediately start reading off of there if you like ebooks. And again, for audiobooks can get pretty freaking pricey, and through Libby you just check them out for free, and again, multiple at a time. So in December, I started to notice that my shelf's looking a little overcrowded, just a little maybe. I personally don't like an overcrowded bookshelf. I like to set them up in a certain way so I can see the gorgeous covers or an exclusive edition, and not just have books like back to back packed. Again, personal preference, not my favorite. So I'm feeling really bummed that I'm already filling up my shelf space, but it also got me thinking, why do I have these books here? Why do I have physical copies of these books? And fortunately, this is something I thought about back in August, and I started to make conscious decisions of only grabbing books that I absolutely love or will reread, and it's like a special edition or a physical copy that I absolutely love. Libby has really helped me out, because there are a bunch of books I want to read, but I'm not sure if I'll fully like them or not. And so I don't want to go out and just buy a copy right away, especially, and this will sound a little superficial, but especially if I'm not a huge fan of the cover and there's no other special edition to really compensate for that. I have really appreciated Libby giving me the chance to first read it and then see if it's something I want to add on my shelf. Unless it's something I absolutely know I will love in an anticipated release or something like that, I do not want to continue buying and feeding into the consumerism of books that I just won't touch again. I would feel pretty bad having books on my shelf that I know I will never read, that I won't get into, and just unnecessarily spending. And again, that's me. I absolutely in no way judge people that love to collect beautiful versions, love having their books, and they love the way they set things up. That's totally fine. But I don't have a whole wall shelf of books, and I want to be more thoughtful about what I'm spending on and what book I want up on my already collapsing shelf. So I definitely want to use Libby a lot more and not just jump into the bandwagon of like, I need to get this copy right now, it's releasing right now, unless it's a premise that I feel like is going to be very promising, or gifts when people buy me a gift. For example, I wasn't going to buy The Night Circus right away because I didn't think that's something that I would read right away, and I've mentioned in the past that I also like to buy books as I'm going to immediately read them. So The Night Circus wasn't a book I was going to buy right away, but it did show up in the 12 Recs challenge, and I got it for Christmas, and I got a beautiful copy as well, and I just absolutely love it. But they also knew it was on my wish list, and so they weren't just purchasing me a random shot in the dark book. I also got a copy of Dune, and it is a really lovely, the non-movie version cover, and I'm really grateful to get all of these sweet gifts. But as for myself, I want to support our local library even more. I found out that I really enjoy audiobooks, and oftentimes I like pairing reading the physical copy with my audiobooks. So sometimes in the library I kind of like to check both out. Sorry if you're waiting for either of those copies and I have both checked out at the same time. But I really enjoy reading both of those. That said, I still love supporting my local bookstore, and I recently did do a little haul because they were having their Friday the 13th sale, and it was amazing. So I will continue to support a local bookstore. I just want to continue being even more intentional with the books I am purchasing. I'm just gonna go get a refill. Got it. For this challenge, I'm not telling you to buy less books. I'm actually just promoting and recommending you use Libby even more to get access to audiobooks and just different books in general. Especially if you're trying a new genre like I am and you're not quite sure about it, Libby is a great way to expose yourself to new books without having to purchase it, especially because books can get really freaking pricey. Audiobooks, ebooks, new genres, all for free. You're supporting your local library. Definitely use Libby a lot more, and that's what I plan to do this year. Thank you so much for 100 subs. I am so excited and feel so honored that 100 of you want to watch me just nerd out about books and recommend. If you look forward to hearing me rank the 12 Recs challenge or see how the challenges turn out in general, hit the subscribe button. That way you are following this channel. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the channel. I look forward to making even more content for you all. If you plan on joining any of these challenges or you really like the sound of one, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to recommend a new genre for me or a new book to go with a new genre. I hope some of you will take part in some of these goals or take part in the challenges I have set up for this channel. Again, I have felt so giddy and happy to have some of you DM me photos of books that you picked up because of my videos or whatever else. Yay, we made it to the end. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.